was your viewpoint of Chase and Eddie?
What was my viewpoint? I mean, I don't know. It's not a surprise to me. Guys get into it. Guys fight. Guys. I mean, I don't know. It's the NFL to me. A lot of people, I feel like you just try to say, "Oh, don't fight, don't fight." I mean, you're competitors at the end of the day, and I mean, they competed and then they got chippy. I mean, I don't take nothing from it.
You looked like you were trying to pull Eddie out of there at some point. Is that a difficult job?
No, I mean, honestly, I wasn't even trying to pull. I wouldn't say trying to pull him out. One thing I know, you don't pull a grown man when he getting into it. So I mean, kind of just trying to get him off the field more so than de-escalate the situation. I feel like at the end of the day, they were starting to drill, and I mean, we just got to get off the field. But nah, I mean, I know I'm definitely not one to get in between two grown men.
What does it do for your group when Eddie kind of sets the tone like that to start practice?
I mean, I feel like we're a chippy group. I feel like it starts with everybody, and especially that situation. It's like now it gives us even more of a reason to turn up more than we already are. I feel like we're the most energized group. We're the guys that really start the flow of it. And I mean, just today, I mean, after that, it was like we're gonna go out here and really turn it up more than we have been throughout these few practices.
Eddie said, "Go ahead."
Oh, thank you. Eddie, speaking of like energy and like you said it's up, like when he got the text from Jaquan about the unique coming here, what does that do for the defense knowing that they're adding instead of subtracting this year?
So we're gonna go down here and dominate. I think that's what's on our mind is domination. I think we have all the tools and the pieces, and I mean we felt confident before we got him. So now that we adding him, it's like, oh no, there's no reason why we shouldn't go out here and dominate and do what we know that we can do. And I think we have a lot of high level guys, and I think it's just up to us to go out here and really run the show and execute the defense at a high level.
Eddie said defensively, y'all was going to continue to kind of poke at the offense until they fought back. Today, with the Chase Claypool thing, they started to fight back, but also it got a little bit more physical as the practice went along. I think it was Khalil Herbert that tried to lower his shoulder on you. Y'all had a pretty big collision there. Did y'all feel them kind of pushing back a little bit more than they have been?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at some point, boys gotta fight back as a unit. I mean, I definitely think they have some dogs individually. I think they just gotta put it all together, and at some point, just like, hey, just fight back, even if you're not executing, but at least you feel me, go out there and like, nah, like we not laying down. And I think you can fix the execution after that. But I think it showed a lot just for them to come out and just have a certain level of physicality and just a certain level of fight. I mean, just whatever it is, you gotta drop your nuts at some point and really go out there and fight back and let that be known.
Are Eddie and Chase the two most likely to go at it just because they both seem to talk a lot?
I mean, I don't know. I ain't never thought about it like that.
It seemed unsurprising to me that those two would.
It didn't surprise you, or it did surprise you?
Surprise me.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like I'm never surprised when receivers and DBs go at it. So, I mean, if it was something else, another position or something, then yeah, maybe. But, I mean, naturally, receivers and DBs don't like each other. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by it.
Jaylon, a year ago, this defense allowed the most points in the NFL. Now you're talking about dominating. It's a big jump. What's been the biggest difference? Why is it so much different? Why is there so much momentum defensively to improve from where you were last year to dominating this year, the hope to dominate?
I would say we got a lot of new bodies, a lot of new faces. I mean, you add two high-level linebackers. I think I can arguably say easily two of the top 10 linebackers in the league. You put them together, I think that sets the tone up front. I think we did a lot of adding to that D-line. I know, so I'm not even going to say think. I know we're more experienced on the back end and we're gelling together. I mean, we had a rookie in our secondary at corner. That's one of the hardest things to do coming in. And then we had a rookie safety who played at a high level, but still had some things to get under his belt. And I think we're coming together. I think we're putting it all together. And now I feel like adding the pass rusher, I mean, I don't think there's anywhere that we're weak at, I think, quite frankly. So, I mean, just being able to see our roster, and I mean, you look at the guys and look at the quality of people that we have this year, I think it's nothing that we can't do.
Are you surprised that those hopes of being as good are that realistic? You know, that just seems like a big
Am I surprised?
When you look back at where you were, I mean, that it seems like, like I said, a big jump. I mean, are you surprised that you're at least in this position?
No. I mean, that's what we hope for. I mean, leaving last year, just I hope we're in a different position. So I mean, now that we're in it, I'm not surprised.
The liking part that you just touched on a second ago, is it important, the liking, like you said DBs and wide receivers, that they don't like each other. I'm just, as a whole, like in a locker room, do you think it's important that guys quote unquote like each other, or is it more about respect
Are we talking about on the field or off the field?
off the field?
Oh yeah, I mean, we get out off the field. I mean, I feel like we go back to being teammates. We go back to being professionals. I feel like at the end of the day, I was speaking more so on the field. I mean, we go against each other all the time. So I mean, naturally, like I mean, O line and D line, they're not just walking around best friends on the field. But off the field, I mean, you go and I mean, you shake hands, whatever, you talk, you laugh, you play, you do whatever you normally would do. I don't think it's anything personal on anybody's end.
Jaylon, early in the year, we saw Tyreek getting a ton of run with the ones,
Yeah.
and then lately he's been splitting reps with Terrell. From your perspective, how have you seen Tyreek handling, going from pretty much all the one reps to now splitting the reps?
Oh, how have I seen him handling it? I mean, honestly, I've seen nothing like change or waver. I mean, from when he was in there in the beginning to when he comes in now, I mean, he doesn't have a different attitude. He goes in the same way. He wants to make plays. He comes in with energy and juice, and he goes out there and does what he normally does. He's not a guy to pout or walk around with his head down or kind of feel sorry for himself. I mean, at the end of the day, he knows he's a rookie. He knows the situation. He knows the competition that's there, and I think both of them are doing a great job embracing it. Continue to still be friends. I mean, we could still go to DB brunches or hang out. I mean, it's nothing like that. We're all trying to build together, and whatever happens from that, I mean, it's nobody's decision in this room to who's going to start and do anything like that. And they both have great attitudes.
Do you have any, did you talk to them as rookies, do you say anything extra to them as they're sort of battling that out and having been in their shoes before?
No, I mean, I don't speak on the competition. They're not competing against each other. They're competing against the offense. They got to go out there and make plays. They got to go out there and execute, and that's my job to help them do that. And whatever happens from there happens.
So before Ngakoue became your teammate, what did you know about him and the impact he can make on a football field?
Honestly, I didn't know really too much. I mean, I knew the name and I know that he's an elite pass rusher. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, I just seen his name floating around in free agency a little bit, and I mean, that was it.
So is the impact a little bit of an X factor, or do you have a good idea of what a pass rusher of his ilk can provide for this team?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like pass rushers are covered around the NFL. I mean, I feel like they make a lot of money to go out to the quarterback, and I think he's one of those guys that has gone off the quarterback for I feel like a long period of time and has been very consistent at it. And I think he's going to come in and continue to do that. I don't think it's going to be a drop off. He's going to come in and add a lot of value to our defense and to our team.
How did you react to Ngakoue signing in terms of not the defense at large, but direct support to your group, to the secondary, where this looks like this could be the best secondary you've been on since you got here, but it gives you a better chance to maximize that potential when you're getting that help.
Yeah, I mean, pass rusher is the DB's best friend. I feel like at the end of the day, you want the quarterback to be uncomfortable, especially. I mean, it's hard enough playing corner in this league. We got some of the best receivers. I feel like that's been around and been in the game, and I feel like you take that and you have a quarterback that sits there comfortable, can just sit there and tear a defense up. I mean, that's not comfortable for a DB. So I feel like having some pass rushers that can really get there and make them uncomfortable, whether that's throwing a bad ball, whether balls are getting tipped, whatever it is, they're giving us more opportunities to be able to turn the ball over and to do our job a lot better.
Robert, what does Mercedes bring to an offense that maybe we don't recognize? Because, we see the run blocking and things like that, but what does he bring that, fans or outsiders don't notice?
Yeah, I think he just brings an attitude. Yes, he's like a run blocker, but the presence, obviously you see him walk into a building, you can feel his presence. But just that vocal leadership, like this is a young team and 18 years. I mean, this dude's been in the NFL almost half of his life. So he's seen about every single game, every single look, every single team, every single coordinator. So just bringing in a guy who's used to the system. We were together for 5 years. So just bringing in someone who has obviously done it at a high level over and over again, and then just the leadership aspect for sure.
You've been able to make plays like almost as soon as you got here, especially in the red zone. I don't know, is that the chemistry with you and Justin? Is that your familiarity with the system? What has allowed you to just come into this camp and consistently make plays?
Yeah, yes, the comfort in the scheme for sure. Obviously, Justin is a hell of a player, but I think him, like Getsy and him, just giving me the freedom to just go out and make plays, whether it's routes or whatever it is, just kind of do my thing and be myself, and him kind of play off me a little bit. So I'm just excited for that trust and to go forth with that.
If I would have told you a couple years ago that there'd be 4 former Packers in the same offensive room and the coordinator would be a Packer, but you'd all
Right.
wear Bears colors, would it have been a little weird?
A little weird, but I mean, definitely the right guys for sure. But we got me, Mercedes, Lucas, we got EQ, and Getsy. Those are quality men that are in this building, and yeah, I'm excited.
Was there something about that environment that bred guys who kind of became known as good teammates?
Just it was an older group there. Like I was saying, this is a younger group. So like how I grew up in the NFL was Lance Kendricks, who was 10 plus years, Jimmy Graham 10 plus years, and Mercedes Lewis, who was 15 plus years at the time. So that's how I grew up in the NFL. So yeah, I'm blessed for that. That's for sure, to be able to learn from those guys and mature so quickly in the NFL. So that's the environment that I was in. So I was very fortunate.
Ryan Poles said he brought in Mercedes because of that. Like he wants to show the young guys in this team how to be a pro, how to take care of your bodies. He's 40 years old, so clearly he's doing something right. What did you learn the first couple of years that you were with him in Green Bay?
Everything, like seriously everything. Like I was new to the position. I didn't know how to play tight end. I was quarterback and receiver in college, and that was the person who took me under my wing, or took me under his wing, and seriously everything I know about tight end, and him encouraging me in the pass game to be myself, obviously with my receiver background, but whether it's run looks or run game mentality, my leadership where I'm at now with me being in a situation to be a leader, that stems from him, and now it was my job to kind of push him to come here, so that was kind of fun.
Robert, speaking of the Green Bay connection, a lot of Bears fans see this season as a chance to finally turn around that rivalry, which is obviously, has been one-sided. With your knowledge of just how they feel about that kind of thing in Green Bay and in that locker room, what do you think about that? How much merit is that to that idea that, hey, with Aaron Rodgers out of town, now things can turn around?
Yeah, I think a lot of the divisions across the NFL in general are kind of wide open. A lot more competitive in terms of just you don't know who's the favorite or whatever it is. But it just kind of gives the rest of the guys more confidence that, realistically winning the division and then going to the playoffs is the standard, and our eyes on a championship. So, yeah, I mean, yes, him not being in Green Bay is one interesting, like seeing him the other day on TV and on the sideline and the Jet stuff was funny. But, yeah, I think just kind of staying in-house and worrying about us and our growth and our process is going to be the main thing here.
You think they're they've heard that before about, this could be the Bears year. You think they're just kind of rolling their eyes up at Lambeau Field or Green Bay, that kind of idea?
I mean, that's not really like our job to worry about what they're thinking about. I think just like I said, just worrying about our process and our growth is huge. Like a lot of young guys, a lot of new guys, using this camp to get better, mature, grow together, chemistry, camaraderie. I think that's what our main focus is.
What was your viewpoint of Chase and Eddie today?
Yeah, I mean, football is football. I mean, I think there's been fights in every single camp since I've been in the NFL. So, I mean, it's just football, competitive.
Can that bring a team further together in your mind?
I mean, yeah. I mean, and a lot of the time it stays on the field, and that's the maturity of people. It stays on the field, stays in the lines, and when it comes to the locker room, it's kind of gone. Like, no one really talks about it.
It's clear Mercedes means a lot to you, your growth as a tight end. So what was your reaction when you found out he was coming here?
That I did my job.
Ooh, so you did your job. You had
it didn't take a lot of convincing, but like he had options, and he didn't you know, coming back for your 18th season, you don't want to waste time. And my words to him were just, you know, with the system and who he's around and who's in this building, and he's definitely not wasting his time with, you know, where this program and where this team is going. And, you know, we were close. So like I said, it didn't take too much convincing on that end, but, you know, like I said, when you're at that point of your career, you're not trying to just come in and get a paycheck. Like, you're trying to, you know, win games, and you're trying to, you know, make a difference.
So there was no part of you that was worried that he might take some of your reps?
No, I mean, I've been playing with him for 5 years. We play off each other very well. I mean, look at the tight end room that we have now. So, I mean,
Can you tell them
We're
about
good.
the quarterback?
I mean, we got a young guy who's hungry and he's quiet and he works. We're not. It's yeah. Obviously, he doesn't get the publicity that these other young guys or young up and coming guys are getting. But he just works, and that's what I respect most about Justin is he keeps quiet and he just works. No outside noise, nothing that doesn't affect him.
He might not get the publicity, but he sure gets talked about a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a quarterback. They all get talked about.
That quiet part, it was teed up earlier in the week by Darnell that he wants, that Justin's gotta bring the juice all the time.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, that the huddle?
You know, I talked about that with him a little bit today, actually. You know, he is growing up more into that boisterous leader role, which he wants, and you know, he's reaching, like, he's trying to reach those goals of being the leader of this team, more vocally. But he doesn't always have to be the juice guy. Like, that's not a quarterback's job. Like, you have to have guys in the locker room who hold themselves accountable as well, who bring the juice every day, whether it's receivers, running backs, linemen, tight ends. Like, you can't put every single thing on this kid's shoulders. But wherever he's comfortable with in doing and, you know, playing his game and sticking to, you know, what he knows and what he does best, I think that it's our job to kind of form around him as well.
Was that basically your message, that, hey, you don't have to do all this, I got your back, sort of?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, how is he, 24, 25 years old? And you're going to put the city of Chicago on his back? Like, he's got enough on his hands. He doesn't have to, you know, make sure everyone on his team is bringing the juice or the energy. Like, as grown men on this team, we have to hold ourselves accountable as well and help him out.